Hi, this is Christine with Zeidman Development. Today I'd like to walk you through using Salsa Engage as a data source and working with the activity type of targeted actions. This video will show you how to integrate those targeted actions into the Razor's Edge using Importacular. You can see on my screen that I've already opened Importacular and I've already selected my activity type of targeted actions. I've also backdated my fetch activity from just to make sure that I have sample data to show you today. The fetch activity from does default to when you opened this activity type last, and the fetch activity type 2 or date 2 does indicate when you opened it this current time. So just so you know how those fields work, I'm going to go ahead and click OK so that we can move forward and take a look. While this is loading, I do want to mention that as part of this demonstration, I am going to show you how these actions can be integrated using the actions paid destination in Importacular. That's not included in the standard Salsa Engage package. So if you don't want to add actions to your package, you can put this information anywhere that you have access to in Importacular. So that would include things like constituent attributes, constituent appeals, constituent notes, or any other area in any other destination that you have in your package. But for the purpose of today, I am showing you actions. So now that this is loaded, let's go ahead and select the template that I've created for this area, and that is my targeted actions template. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the pencil here to take a look. So we do have videos that show you how to create that constituent mapping. You can see here I have mapped a constituent. I've added a constituent code. I've also mapped my address and my email address just to have that information to help us match these records to what's in Razor's Edge. So let's go ahead and go to the Actions tab and take a look at my targeted action. So to begin, you would always need to add the action. Once you've added an action, then you can add notepads and attributes. So you can see I've got several of those. If you have the solicitor destination, you could also add a solicitor, assigning this action to a solicitor. If you don't have the solicitor destination, you can just create the action without a solicitor linked. Let's open that targeted action and take a look. So you can see I've been using my activity date from the API fields here in order to mark what my date was. I've also used that same date as my completed date. I have chosen a default value of advocacy for my targeted action and for the action category in Razor's Edge. You would choose whatever is appropriate for you. I've also selected my type using my targeted action. So for me, that was a default value that I created in Razor's Edge. So whatever action type makes the most sense for you, that's what you would want to select there. Once you've created that action, you then can add some attributes and notes. So some of the things that I have done that might be helpful for you, I wanted to track the Salsa form and track where this form name came from. So I do have an action attribute set up that I've named Salsa form name. And I decided to put the form name in the description, the comments have the form ID, and the date is the activity date. Just so you can see another attribute, I have added my target group. So I created an action category, an action attribute category for Salsa target group. I have added my letter target name to the description, the activity date to the date, and I added the count to the comments. I also created a couple of notes, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at those. So this notepad, just to make this a bit bigger, I did give it an action or an action type or an action note type, excuse me, of targeted action comments. I made a default title of targeted action from Salsa. I used the letter subject as my description, the activity date for my date, and then I added the letter message in the actual notes. And then last but not least, I wanted to have that target additional comment. So in order to save that, I made an additional note. I have my targeted action comments as my type. I have the description of target additional comment, used my date of activity date, and I have the letter additional comment in the notes there. I hope that this helps give you some ideas of what information comes through the API when you're working with a targeted action in Salsa Engage and Importacular. Thanks so much for your time and have a great day.